Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to a very special edition of the Spurs Show, live from the 100 Club on Oxford Streets. You can cheer, it's be on the show. Please welcome joining me and Spursthailand. For those of you at home, you just missed a wonderful video montage. 315 appearances between 1999 and 2012, scoring 15 goals, and still the hold of the fastest goal in the Premier League, and the last Tottenham captain to lift a major trophy. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to the stage, Mr. Ledley King. I said you can go now.
Thanks for that, thank you. Thank you very much. So you're going to make me cry, guys. Stop it.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, those of you listening at home, it's wonderful to have Ledley with us. Ledley, we've got a few questions for you this evening. You were last here on this stage. First, before we say that, you know you're now the only non-musician ever to have that photo up at the 100 Club. Did you know that?
No, I didn't know.
On your way out, they said there's a picture, your picture's over there by the bar. This club opened in 1942, and it's never, you said there's lots of iconic pictures, all the great, it's never had a picture of a non-musician like you. The owner's a big Spurs fan, so I love it. Good old Jeff. Jeff Wilson, thank you very much for that. Ledley, the last time you were here was December 2012, and you just hung up your boots. What's the last 4 years been like for you, adjusting to your new life off the pitch? And try and talk us through that.
2012, time flies, don't it? You know, that's my first thoughts. You know, I've just been getting more used to my role as an ambassador. You know, I think when any player retires, you know, that little bit of unknown and not sure about what they're going into, could be a bit of a worrying time. But I was fortunate that the club offered me a role as an ambassador. You know, but I still wasn't sure what I was going to be doing, you know, at that point. So, you know, I think for the last 4 or 5 years, I've just kind of been growing in that role. You know, learning about myself off the pitch a little bit more. You know, I think when you play football from such a young age, you know, and everything's been kind of geared and directed to being a footballer, you know, you kind of miss out a little bit and neglect certain things. And you know, I think now, you know, I'm able to kind of look at the bigger picture. Now I'm not playing anymore, and I'm kind of trying to evolve as a kind of adult and a human, really. So, you know, these are all parts of the learning curve now. You know, that players probably deal with a little bit later than other people, but you know, I'm enjoying that.
And what aspects of this new role are you enjoying? What kind of things do you do that make you sort of feel, wow, this really means something?
Well, I've just come from an event earlier today, and you know, that's an event called Kicks, and you know, we set that up 10 years ago, the Premier League, along with the club, and you know, just seeing young people kind of, you know, who have had a difficult upbringing, a difficult start, and giving them an opportunity to just you know, just play, really, just engage with other young people, and you know, we were saying not all of them are going to make it through as a footballer, but given that opportunity through football, we're able to kind of direct them into different paths, and we've seen a lot of people do really well. So you know, that's something I enjoy.
So that's all. I mean, Spurs do a lot of work in the community that people don't necessarily know about. That's right, isn't it? I mean, the Tottenham Foundation is a fantastic charity, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. You know, and you know, I will say as players, you know, something that we've always had, you know, had to commit to.
Yeah.
You know, Ledley was there today. Ledley played yesterday.
Yeah.
The game on Wednesday, but he still was here he was still there today, and you know that's the kind of you know the club, they put a lot of emphasis on players going out in the community and giving back, and you know it makes it easier. Now that I'm retired, it's something I've been doing for years as a player as well, so you know it makes it easier.
Yeah, and it makes you proud as a fan. We've got lots to be proud of anyway, but that stuff I think is extra stuff to be proud of.
Yeah, it's great. You know, we as I say, we realise our importance as a football club within the community.
Yeah.
And you know, we try our best to make sure that we help.
What's it like actually when you go, you know, again with sort of Costas being here, when you sort of go abroad and meet like various top supporters clubs around the world? What's that like?
Yeah, it's crazy. It's crazy. You know, I mean, you know, as a player, you don't always get to really see the fans on that level that I'm able to see them on. Now I've stopped playing. You know, you're often quite guarded as a player. You know, you come off the coach and you're pushed into the hotel or this or that, so you don't really get to really engage with the fans. So now, you know, I'm able to kind of engage with them, and when I go away, they're just as crazy as you guys are. So
that reminds me that Simon from Dallas Spurs, I had a drink with him last weekend. He said specifically to say hello and to remember him to you.
Yeah, no, it's great. Thank you.
So to matters on the pitch. So 4 years ago, we were, you know, AVB was in charge. We were third in the league. We finished that season with our highest league points tally ever, but we came fifth, missed out in the Champions League. 4 years on, so we you know, things were pretty good compared to where we come from and everything. But we didn't know how it was going to go. We all know what happened to AVB, etc. But 4 years on, do you think we progressed as a team on the pitch?
Yeah, I think so. I think that you know, if we look at the time when AVB was in charge, you know, it was a funny period. We had a lot of players kind of come in and go in, and we wasn't quite sure where we stood as a team. You know, I think for the first time in a long time now we have a manager where we feel can take us forward for a long time, and we have a group of players that are all the right age, and you know, we're hoping that we'll be together and play together for years to come, and you know, everything's in the right place, new stadium and getting in the Champions League now, you know, having that first taste of it. I'm sure the players will be desperate to get back there again, and I just feel that everything's in the right place for the club to kick off.
What did you make of? Sorry, Mark. I thought to bring it right up to date, I was going to ask you what you made of yesterday's game.
Yeah, obviously disappointing to lose, but you know, I thought the performance was okay. It was lacked a little bit of carnage in the final third. Yeah. But yeah, the game, there wasn't much in the game at all. You know, it's just one moment of quality, I suppose, from Manchester United. Was a difference between the two teams, but. You know, the good thing is you get a chance to play on Wednesday and put it right. Try and put that right.
Yeah, I mean, you're obviously still close to a lot of the current players. What do they say working under Pochettino? What you know, what kind of insights they give you, and when it comes to training? And I mean, I know a lot of them sign long-term contracts, which is obviously a good sign. Yeah. What kind of things do they say to you about working with him?
But to be honest, out of the whole team, you know, there's not many players. I think it's two players I actually played with. So yeah, I don't know them that well. I obviously bump into them here and there, but you know, from the players that I have spoke to, and what I gather is that you know, first is the hard work. You know, he believes in hard work and discipline. You know, I think that's what was great. You know, I think we've needed a manager that kind of has kind of brought this discipline amongst a group of players, and that work ethic, and you know, their talent will take care of itself, and that's what we've seen. You know, I've watched them train, and you know, I've seen how hard they work, and the manager, not just the manager, but you know, the rest of the staff, and you know, that's something, as I say, that I think that the club have been needing, someone who's kind of a taskmaster, loves the hard work and the work ethic, and that's kind of what rubs across on the players. So,
do you think that maybe was lacking maybe in your time under certain managers in hindsight?
I think he's a different type of manager. I think that, you know, during my time, you know, I think nowadays the players the managers are real coaches that really like to spend all their time, you know, a lot of time on the pitch, on the training pitch, and the attention to detail is there, and I think maybe during my career it wasn't as much attention to detail, and I think we're seeing that now. We're seeing people like Pep Guardiola coming to the league, and these guys are coaches. You know, they're constantly on the training pitch trying to find ways to outcoach the other team or to get their team to buy into their methods. So yeah, I just think things have changed a little bit. You know, obviously, you know, so before under Harry things were a little bit different. You know, it wasn't so much. it wasn't. You know, I don't think it was for the detriment to the team, so to speak. I just think that was the way that Harry kind of grew up, and that's how he got the best out of the group of players. You know,
You can see Pavlichenko working under Pochettino, for example.
Listen, there's certain players that wouldn't be able to cope under the manager now.
Well, some of them have been, presumably that's why a lot of them have left in difficult circumstances.
Well, yeah, I think that the manager kind of, when he came in, that was his first job really, to kind of get rid of the players that weren't going to
sign up for
going to play the way that he wanted the team to play. And you know, I think when Harry came in, Harry kind of got the group of players to kind of believe in themselves and kind of got the best out of them. So they're two different types of managers. I'm not saying one's better than the other. You know, they've just got different kind of skill sets.
Yeah.
I mean, looking back at your career, so what's your sort of memory? You know, if you try to remember going back to 99. What's your memory of breaking into finding that first team under George Graham, and obviously your debut at Liverpool? Looking back, you know, what was it like? Because obviously you know you've been in the club for a long time, and that was that moment. What was that like?
To be honest, it's a bit of a blur now. It's a long time ago. I think when you're kind of you're in the moment and you kind of, you know, you're kind of been working towards making your debut or becoming a first team player, you know, you're just kind of living in the moment. You know, you're training hard, working hard, you know, to the stage where you get to training with the first team, and then it's about trying your best to impress there, and you know, then you're just hoping that you get a chance to play on the pitch, and you know, eventually that comes across, or that comes along, and you know, everyone knows that my debut didn't work out. You know, it didn't work out as how it worked out in my dreams. But that way, you know, it was 2-0 up when I come on, and we lost 3-2. But we did have 10 at the time. But you know, and as a young player, you kind of blame yourself. You know, you come thinking, it must have been me.
Do you think that's it? You know,
I didn't think that, but you know, it kind of does take your confidence a little bit, and then. You know, it takes a while for you to really fully get comfortable within playing in the first team. You know, so.
And yet, the funny thing is, from a fan's point of view, especially in your position, I think it's one of those positions that you see players learn over the years, and they seem to get back. Just very occasionally, one comes along, he seems fully formed, and that's what you seemed like, because you seemed really confident and at ease, and you know, you knew your job.
Yeah. Well, I think that, you know, football was my kind of. My thing, you know, my getaway. I was quite a shy lad, quiet lad growing up, and you know, when I got on the pitch, it just felt easy to me. That's where I wanted to be. So, you know, but funny enough, I didn't hardly play at the back. I didn't hardly play at the back when I was first coming through. You know, they put me in left back, they put me in midfield.
Yeah.
You know, it wasn't really until Glenn Hoddle came in, and we played 3 at the back where I started to play as a centre half, and it wasn't really until 2004 or 17, where I played in a back 4 as one of the centre halves. So, you know, when I look at the start of my career, they kind of put me a bit of everywhere.
Yeah.
So it took me a while to actually get into a position where.
One of the things that was, I mean, you were a brilliant defender, obviously everyone knows that, you know, as a defender, but you're also a footballing defender. Do you think playing in those other positions helped you become a footballer as well?
Well, I think that's why they put me in the other position, because I was
you
already naturally quite, you know, a footballer. So I think.
Yeah.
I think that, if I'm honest, George Graham, I don't think he saw me as a good enough defender at a young age to play me.
Yeah, he had a very clear idea what a defender should be.
George Graham.
It wasn't anything to do with football.
Yeah. I wasn't putting my hand up quick enough. But obviously, you know, as I say, it wasn't until I was 20. When I went away with England for the 2004 tournament, I played as a centre back. But that season I was playing midfield for Tottenham. So it wasn't until they put me in the back 4 I played, and then I come back to Tottenham and played in the back 4, and that was really the start of me kind of developing as a class defender.
But as you were coming through before you got in, did you always think you would end up centre?
Yeah. Even when I was playing in midfield, I never really thought it was my position.
Yeah.
You know, I felt I could do a job there, but you know, I didn't feel 100% comfortable in.
What senior players then, when you sort of broke in that first team, were looking back now, a big help and influence on you? Anyone stands out at all?
Well, I think, you know, there was many experienced players around when I first started coming through, you know, people like Les Ferdinand, Teddy Sheringham was there, you know, when I was a young player. I'm not going to say that.
Say it.
I'm not saying it.
I'll say it. So Campbell.
People like Chris Armstrong. There was so many experienced players. Darren Adler, you know, players that
good
kind
players.
of, yeah, but they kind of, you know, I was a local-ish lad, so you know, and they could see a bit of potential in me, and they could see that I was quite quiet, and I think they like a player that is quite quiet, a young player that's quiet, but goes about his business and tries to play the game their best. So you know, I think they help you. They will help. Yeah, they will help me. Stephen Carr, people like that, you know. But yeah, Stephen Carr was a big help. He was someone who come through the youth team as well, so he knew that. He knew what it was about, and he knew he was a help.
Yeah. We're going to try and go through chronologically the season of Spurs, because for most of us it still feels like yesterday. It's a sad thing. So obviously, you know, you started in that George Graham team, and then obviously it was near the end of that season, March or something, Glenn Hoddle took over, when Enoch, who obviously the current owners, took over. And that first full season we reached the League Cup final against Blackburn. What were the memories of that team you played? I mean, you've already touched on some of the players. Hoddle brought in Sheringham, Ziga, Richards, Poye, Bujacevic, you'll remember him. He mentioned, well, he didn't mention, I mentioned Sol Campbell left at the same time. What was you coming through? What was the belief in the squad there? Because I mean, there's some cracking players there.
Apart from Bujacevic. Beckham Bear of the Balkans.
Yeah, no. As I said, I think we was playing a back three then, so it was.
Which again was quite ahead of its time. Everyone's playing it now, but fairness to Hoddle, it was quite forward.
Yeah, no, he was. I've always said that he was. I enjoyed playing under Glenn, and you know, at the time it was me and you know, Dean Richards that he brought to the club as well. You know, rest in peace.
Yeah, good player.
Dean Richards and Chris Perry. Well, you know, Ben Fletcher sometimes played centre half. So, you know, but I think it was Glenn's way of trying to get as many kind of attacking players into the formation as he could. You know, so then you could play you could still play 4 up or your 5 in midfield and get 2 strikers as well.
Was it Ziga and fullbacks for Timothy Ziga?
Yeah, 2 great attacking fullbacks.
We had and Poye, we had Sherwood, you know, Sheringham and Les. So yeah, we had.
It's like a really good side.
It just didn't perform like one. It sounded like one.
Well, I mean, that's what I was going to touch upon. So 2002 season, we finished 10th, and then again, Hoddle brought in Robbie Keane, Jamie Redknapp, Asimovic,
the rookie of the Balkans,
Jonathan Block, and then the following season, Helder Steve came and Freddie Canute. But then a month later, he was sacked. Can you remember the time?